because I feel like there's not a lot that I could say that you haven't heard in one of these.
Yeah, I mean,
which is why
sure.
my main thinking on the topic is that for a lot of people, for trans people, I don't know if you're, for a lot of trans people, like, it's a matter of life and death to express themselves the way they want to and embrace the identity they want to, and to use the pronouns that they care about. And what is it to you to not respect it?
Yeah,
like,
so
why do you?
There's two separate issues. We could go on endlessly, and it probably wouldn't get anywhere where I would be like my own personal opinions on that.
Right.
But the more important question is, how does society react to it, right? That's the more important question. So I'm not going to convince trans people they're not what they say they are. Like, that's a waste of time. The question is, should we change bathrooms, like college sports? You know, that's the more important question, right? Should we teach this stuff in schools? And I would say, I mean, the moral question from my perspective is that I believe people, first and foremost, born as biological men, right, should not be allowed to exploit or damage or harm people that do not have the same testosterone, bone density, or muscle mass. Let's just take, like, athletics, right? So NCAA women's swimmer champion Thomas was a man, transitioned to a woman, wins the NCAA championship, right? So that's a moral question where I say, okay, you can think whatever you want, but you should have to compete your own your chromosome should dictate what athletic competition you're in, right? So you say it's a matter of life and death. I think doing therapy, whatever, but your therapy shouldn't be disenfranchising other female athletes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's specific to athletics.
That's just one example of a ton, right?
Like, that's specific to athletics, but like, what?
Or like bathrooms, right? So, like, I don't think men and women should share bathrooms. I don't.
You don't think? I mean, gender neutral bathrooms are all over.
Yeah, and I'm totally against that, right? So just so you know, like, I think it's weird and creepy. So
What's weird?
women can get raped. They have gotten raped. They can get sodomized. Loudoun County schools had multiple incidents of men who thought they were women and raped young children. All sorts of stuff, right? So, but then also just from a more just like civilizational level, this is one where we're totally not going to agree. I just think that if we can't have strict standards of what a man is and what a woman is, then things start to fall apart in a way I don't think we're really ready. We're ready to anticipate.
Yeah, I don't mean we can't.
We're not going to get even close on that, right? And that I know that. So.
Yeah, I guess my is that I don't know the statistics on it, but I find it very hard to believe that rape is far more common in gender neutral bathrooms.
No, I'm not saying it's common. I'm saying it
So
happens.
why?
It happens.
So why is that like the place that we?
Well, so like whether it be locker rooms for women only and not to allow men in them, I think that protecting the innocence of women is a moral good.
But why is
because
why are trans people more likely to be rapists and specifically in public bathrooms?
Well, but they're biologically not the same thing, and
that's not really my question. It's like,
I have no data to say if they're more likely or less likely. The question is if there's a chance, which we have plenty of evidence, like tons of stories, and whether or not it's 1%, 2%, I don't know, is do we have, as a society, right, an obligation to create a boundary or a barrier to say that women, right, should be a type of class, if you will, which was the argument of the feminists, that should be protected from the exploitation of men? And I say yes. And that's one of the fundamental reasons that this animates me, right?